Hey everyone, welcome back. So today, I want to tell you about two people who became billionaires in their 20s by solving a problem that most people find incredibly boring. I'm talking about Alexandr Wang and Lucy Guo, the co-founders of Scale AI. Now, you probably haven't heard of them. They're not out there doing TED Talks every week or posting on Twitter about AGI. But here's the thing. Without their company, ChatGPT wouldn't work as well as it does. Tesla's self-driving wouldn't be where it is. And a lot of the AI systems the US military uses? Yeah, those run on Scale AI too. This is a story about infrastructure, about seeing an opportunity that everyone else thought was too tedious to bother with, and about two very different founders who built something absolutely essential. Let's get into it. All right, so let's go back to 2016. AI is starting to heat up. Deep learning is working. Neural networks are getting better. Companies are racing to build smarter models. But there's this massive bottleneck that nobody wants to talk about: data. See, AI doesn't just learn on its own. You can't just throw raw images or text at it and expect magic. Someone has to label that data first. You need humans to go through thousands, sometimes millions, of images and say, okay, this is a pedestrian, this is a car, this is a stop sign. It's tedious work. It's expensive. And in 2016, most companies were either doing it in-house with their own employees or outsourcing it to random contractors with zero quality control. Alexandr Wang saw this problem clearly. He was 19 years old, a math prodigy who'd been competing in coding competitions since he was a kid. He got into MIT, spent a year there, and then dropped out. Why? Because he realized that the biggest companies in AI were all stuck on the same problem, and nobody was solving it well. So he started Scale AI with one simple pitch: we'll label your data faster, cheaper, and more accurately than anyone else. And he didn't go after small startups. He went straight for the giants: OpenAI, Google, Toyota, the US Department of Defense. By his mid-20s, Alexandr Wang was a billionaire. Scale AI was valued at over $14 billion. But here's the interesting part. He didn't build it alone. Lucy's background was completely different from Alexander's. She wasn't a math Olympiad kid. She started as a designer and engineer, working at companies like Quora and Snapchat. She understood product. She understood how to take something technical and make it actually usable. When she co-founded Scale AI with Alexandr in 2016, she brought that product thinking. She helped build the platform, the user experience, the systems that made Scale AI something customers actually wanted to use, not just a back-end tool. But then, in 2018, just 2 years after founding the company, Lucy left. She stepped away from day-to-day operations. She wanted to angel invest, explore other ideas, build new things. Now, most people would think, oh, she left too early, she missed out. But here's what Lucy did that was brilliant. She kept her equity. She understood something really important. You don't have to be the CEO. You don't have to be running the company. If you own a piece of something that's going to grow massively, that equity is worth more than any salary. And she was right. As Scale AI's valuation exploded, so did the value of her stake. In 2023, Lucy Guo became the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. She was 29 years old. Her story is honestly one of the best examples of strategic thinking I've seen. She didn't chase the title. She understood leverage. So why does this story matter? I think there are 3 big lessons here, especially if you're building something in AI or tech. First, infrastructure beats applications. Everyone wants to build the flashy consumer app, the next ChatGPT, the next viral AI tool. But Scale AI didn't do that. They built the boring stuff, the data pipelines, the labeling platform, the infrastructure that all those flashy apps depend on. And you know what? Infrastructure companies often make more money and have more staying power than the apps themselves. Second, solve essential problems, not sexy ones. Data labeling is not exciting. It's not going to get you on the cover of Wired. but it's essential. And in tech, essential problems often turn into billion-dollar businesses. Alexandr Wang said something once that stuck with me. The best AI companies are built on the best data. That's it. That's the entire insight. And it's why Scale AI is now powering some of the most advanced AI systems on the planet. Third, equity is everything. Lucy Guo's story proves this. She left the company after 2 years, but she kept her equity. And that decision made her a billionaire. If you're joining a startup, if you're founding something, if you're thinking about your career in tech, equity matters. Ownership matters. Sometimes it matters more than your job title or your salary. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Alexandr Wang and Lucy Guo didn't chase fame. They didn't try to become influencers or thought leaders. They just built something that the AI industry desperately needed. And because they did that, they became billionaires before they turned 30. In a world where everyone's trying to build the next viral AI product, they remind us that sometimes the real opportunity is in the invisible layer below, the infrastructure, the boring stuff that makes everything else possible. If you're building something right now, ask yourself, am I chasing the spotlight, or am I solving a problem that actually matters? All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. If you got something out of this, share it with someone who's building an AI or thinking about startups. I'll see you in the next one.